Hey everyone, welcome to another ep of ALLeffedUP. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. By the time this gets out, I think Mother's Day will have come and gone, so I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. Hope all the moms out there had a great day. We're gonna just kind of go outside the norm a little bit, because I know I kind of usually focus on one topic, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of bounce all over the fucking place, just because I kind of want to touch on a few different subjects and just kind of get outside of the we're going to focus on one topic. There's this one thing that affects your mental health and this and that. We're going to kind of jump around into general life shit too, just these different experiences that we can all have that can all affect our mental health in different ways, and just kind of go with it, just kind of see where it takes us, because what the fuck else we got to do. But anyways, I hope everyone enjoys, and let's get into it. So, the first couple of things I wanted to talk about kind of go hand in hand. For me, these two topics or two discussions, it's something that needs to be talked about more. Just because everyone has these feelings, everyone goes through this, especially when you're a kid and you're learning to trust people or who to let in. And for me, when I was younger, I trusted people probably way too easily. For sure, way too easily. I let the wrong people in all the time. I continued to trust people when they didn't, or when they gave me a reason to not trust them anymore. And I just was, it's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. I wanted to kind of see the good in everyone. And unfortunately, for some people, there just is no good, or they're just not a good person. They don't have those qualities that you look for someone to be a good person and to take your feelings into account, or, just general shit like that. If you go back and listen to earlier episodes, I kind of get into that side of it where there's toxic relationships. I've had my fill of them in multiple different ways, and so I have learned from them finally. It took me a very long time to learn from them and to kind of just take something from them, because there's always going to be people that I think will test you, and whether or not there's shit on my microphone, but they decide whether or not they even have a place in your life. And just, like I said, trust is not something you should take for granted. Like I said, I made the mistake when I was younger to let the wrong people in and continue to let them in, and just kind of repeat that fucking cycle, because like I said, I wanted to see the good in everyone. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing. You just get into the mindset that you want people to treat you like you treat them, like you go out of your way for them, and you just expect the same courtesy. Well, that's just not going to happen. That's not the case most of the time. There's very few instances in my life where people have returned the favor of going out of their way or just showing some common fucking courtesy. And that's just really sad. It's sad that we've gotten to that point in the world where you can't count on people that you should be able to count on for just returning the favor, just trying to be decent people. And so it's just a ongoing struggle, especially as I've gotten older, and my friendship circles, if you can even still call them that, because they're only a handful of people, they've definitely gotten smaller, and that trust that you look for in a friend and everything, that is definitely, you have higher standards for it. You look for more when it comes to trusting someone, just because when I was younger, I trusted a lot of the wrong people with information or secrets that did not stay secret very long. And just people will go behind my back and say shit, and sometimes I still see some of these people every once in a while, and just trying to be a mature adult, you exchange pleasantries, and you just kind of move on with your life, because that part of you is, that instance in your life or that experience in your life is just something you can't take back. So you just kind of gotta move on with your life. And, I guess there's also the aspect of if you see that they're doing kind of shitty, that makes you feel kind of good, but you don't want to make a habit of that, because I'm a heavy believer in karma. Karma's certainly got a few fucking people that I can think of, but anyways, as far as all of that, just letting people in, like I said, especially as I've gotten older, is not as easy as it used to be. I have a handful of people that I can actually say I actually trust, and they know the inner workings of my life. Other than that, back in the day, I would kind of just share myself with everybody. I had large circle of friends, or who I thought were friends, and they just knew every aspect of my life. And when you see these people again, it's been 10 plus years, and they want to talk to you like they still know you, it's like you have no fucking clue who I am anymore. And so in that, in saying all that, it's just, you don't let people in as easily as you would when you were younger, especially in my case. And I just, it's just, I guess it's a side effect of when I was younger, and it's something I've had to work on too as I've gotten older, is being a people pleaser. Being a people pleaser is such a fucking, it's not worth it by any means, because, like I said, you go out of your way to do nice things, or, whatever the case is for these people, just because you want to be on good terms with them. And that's something I've come to notice as I've gotten older, and you just, you're not doing yourself any favors by doing this. And you come to realize, as you are being such a people pleaser, you are just avoiding conflict. You're just wanting to in avoiding that conflict, you're just kind of proving to yourself and to them that you're only good for one thing, and that's, doing things at their convenience. And it's something you need to snap out of if you haven't already. It's something that took me longer than I would like to admit to snap out of, and because I had my wife, kind of, I don't even know how to say, gracefully yelling in my ear that, quit being such a bitch. But it's just a round of experiences, and you don't want to be that person that is just going out of your way to do nice things for other people, because you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing your mental health any favors, because you don't think that you hold any value when you do, and you're just showing these people that your look on things or whatever. And anyways, the whole getting back to people pleasing and all that shit, it took me, like I said, longer than I wanted to admit, just years of avoiding conflict, all because I was trying to stay in someone's good graces. And when it came to it, at the end of the day, it didn't fucking matter. These people took advantage of me as long as they possibly could, and when you called them out on it, suddenly you were the asshole. And it's just a fucked up situation, and it's just a just a situation that you don't want to be in, because it's not going to do you any favors. It's, you spend all these years doing all that, and all you're really doing is kind of stunting your own growth, because you are so concerned about how these people are going to react if you stop doing favors for them, or stop going out of your way, or bending over backwards, or just being an all-around decent human being while they're being a piece of trash. And you hate to kind of do that, but at the same time, it's for your own mental health, your own just well-being, that you shed your life with these fucking people, because they're not going to do you any favors down the road. And yeah, as a result in my situation where it's just where like I said, I don't have the circle of friends that I used to, but that's just fine. I don't need them, especially because I'm older and I don't have the fucking time to run around causing shit like I used to. I don't have the time to drop everything and go do something for somebody or whatever the case is. And, I've just gotten more in touch with, I guess, being awkward and weird. Because, I've always been awkward and weird. I did have a short stint in my earlier days where I could actually go out and be social and everything, but at the same time, I just don't really care. I am perfectly content with the fact that I'm an introvert. I don't really have the need to be as social as I used to be. I can be social on a healthy level where I don't need to go out of my way to spend time with people that wouldn't do it for me. And being that way, being introverted, being awkward, and just kind of a quiet type, I've always been that way. Needing regular time to be alone and just be with the quiet or be with my own thoughts or sitting there, or in the case of being close to summertime where I get the most peace out of going out and just driving around with all the windows down, blaring music. That is my way of recharging, and there's nothing wrong with it. You get called weird or a loner or whatever the case is because you enjoy going out and spending that time with yourself. It's harder, especially as an adult and when you have kids and all that shit, and it's just a factor of being this way. And you don't want to let that bring you down at the same time either, because yes, being someone that needs time to recharge on your own, it can leave you with thinking things that you don't want to think, or you kind of get to thinking about. In my case, I have a real problem kind of letting go of the past, where I kind of get sucked into, and sometimes I still wish that I could relive those old days, mostly because I would probably do something different. But, everyone does that. You wish you could go back and change a moment because it could set off a whole different fucking line of events or whatever. But at the same rate, that is what I've discovered. The only way that I can recharge is when I'm on my own in situations like this where I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. And, it gives me time to think about, what we can talk about and, kind of go into the chasm of shit. But anyways, with all that babbling that I just kind of threw at you, just kind of to back it up a little bit to the people pleasing and kind of letting people in and the avoiding conflict and all that shit, I realized over the years as I got older and as I went through different experiences, that was all a product of not really being able to like myself. To this day, I still have a low opinion of myself, and it's something I struggle with, but I don't think it's as crippling as it used to be, because I try not to let other people's opinions and shit get the best of me, because, when it comes down to it, a lot of people's opinions about you don't really fucking matter. And, it's something I struggled with a lot when I was younger, trying to find my place in the world. I'm still trying to find my place in the world. I'm trying to find something that makes me happy, and, aside from, obviously, my wife and my kids, they bring me a happiness I didn't know I could find and didn't know I deserved. But, through all my different experiences, being in my teens and 20s, and even younger when I was going through junior high and high school, where I had no place in the world, I didn't fit in, I didn't belong anywhere, and that contributed to the trust and not being able to let people in, or wanting to be someone I wasn't to gain other people's approval. It didn't matter. And it was all just a collection of that shit. And like I said, the people pleasing and doing all that to avoid getting any shit thrown my way from anyone, even if these were people that I didn't particularly care about. There was plenty of, especially in my class, because I went to school in a small school, and it was a, small town country bullshit. And basically, I know how it is in a lot of schools. If you weren't the child or relative of someone that worked in that school or was on the school board or whatever, you basically didn't fucking matter. And that's definitely the crowd that I was mixed in with. And so from the get-go, I had a lot of fucking trust issues and wanted to be someone I wasn't, to, like I said, gain other people's approval. And when it came down to it, it's something I realized when I was finally able to, after I became a fucking adult, that these things did not matter. And I really tapped into, I guess, that rebellious nature where I'm the type of person where someone tells me, don't do this, don't push that button. I'm going to push that fucking button just out of pure spite, I guess. I want to show you that, fuck you, I'm going to push this button, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to wear, this shirt or whatever it is, just to be a rebellious little fuck, just because that's who I am. And it's something I definitely had to learn, it's something I'm still kind of struggling with as far as liking myself, because like I said, I still struggle with that, but in a weird way, falling back on that rebellious nature, it gives me a sense of self. It definitely makes me laugh, the things that I could rebel at or rebel against or whatever. And it, being that type, I listen to a lot of punk or pop punk and shit as I've grown up, and I've been to dozens of concerts at this point, and that is a sense of community that I did not think I could feel, because you are mixed in with all these different people, and they have all the same fucking issues you do. You can just look at them and tell that they might be anxious to be in that crowd of people, or they don't want to talk to anybody, or whatever it is. You can kind of relate to these people, and just you can connect with them on a level that I didn't think was possible with strangers, for sure, because like I said, I've always been the awkward, weird type, and it was very difficult. It still is very difficult for me to be in a situation where I don't know anybody and want to actually come out of my shell. Like my current job, it took me quite a while to come out of my shell, just because, like I said, I'm always nervous, or I'm always come off awkward, or maybe even kind of bitchy. I don't know, where I've got that resting bitch face, or resting douche face, whatever you want to call it, where I might come off as kind of a dick because I don't want to talk to anybody, and that's not the case. And that's something that, like I said, I am trying to work on as I've gotten older. I don't let it get in the way as much, but it still does come out where I get accused, or people assume I'm not approachable. But I guess that's just one of my crosses to bear, and I don't mean to come off that way, but it's just one of the many complicated aspects of my personality, I guess, and dealing with anxiety and the small little bursts of depression I've had throughout my life. But anyways, I kind of wanted to just touch on these few subjects, trust, letting people in, people pleasing, avoiding conflict, being awkward and weird, and it's perfectly fucking okay. And needing regular alone time to recharge. Like I said, it's not something to be ashamed of, for sure. Just because, some people get their recharge by going out and being social, or they feel like they need to get out and be amongst people. But, there's nothing wrong with sitting in a fucking dark room and, just hanging out. But anyways, if you stumbled through this episode and, like you still like what you hear, you still kind of can relate to some of my experiences and stories, like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm on all the major social media shit out there. And, I'll have them go across the screen and all that garbage. But anyways, if you can If you want to throw a comment my way to maybe give me a topic that you want to talk about, or you want to give some criticism, whether it be constructive or otherwise, I'm perfectly okay with that too. So, anyways, just want to say thanks for listening, and like I said, hope for all the mothers out there you had a good Mother's Day, because good days are just hard to come by. And anyways, guys, if you listened and enjoyed it, I thank you, and I will catch you later, guys. Take care.